Hey there everybody, sorry that I haven't been posting a video for a while, but considering college, yeah, you get the gist. Now today I'll be telling what my opinion is on the top 5 worst episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 1. Now don't get me wrong, as the show kicks ass and it really is damn good for cartoons nowadays, but it's not perfect. When it comes to shows like these, they tend to have bad episodes. So here's what I think are my least favorite, and again, everybody has opinions, and if you like any of these episodes, that is fine. Let's get started. Number 5. Look before you sleep. When it comes to most shows about a female cast, you are bound to expect very girly episodes like Boys and Sleepovers. MLP breaks that, but they still have the elements of what most girl shows have, but they manage to show they are reliable. But this episode here is just very average with one thing going for it. Applejack and Rarity gets ambushed by the storm and they need to find shelter. Luckily, Twilight has shelter, and also she wants to have a slumber party. What? This confused me because I don't think it fits into her character. Since when does she want a slumber party as she's always antisocial before? And this is early into the season, and while she is a bit social, I don't think it would be enough for her to have a slumber party. I don't think this would be reasonable if this was aired later in the season. Also, she is a dumbass for not knowing what is going on. The writing is pretty well done as this is a character duo episode between Applejack and Rarity who are complete opposites, which is very entertaining to watch. But the problem and the reason why it's here on the list is that the writing could have been used in a different situation. What I mean is that I think those two should have been in a different situation, like say instead of being in a slumber party, what if the storm blew them away to the forest and they have to work together in order to get out? That would be awesome. But this is an episode I heard Faust is proud for because it shows that they are women and they like doing these things. So overall, while it's generic for little girl shows to do this, the writing and showing how these characters embrace feminine is the reason why it's not high on the list. Number 4. Griffin the Brushoff. When it comes to our society, bullying is the biggest topic to tackle when it comes to our kids shows nowadays. Unfortunately, this episode counts in the rank of bad like the others. First, I'll talk about Gilda. Now, I don't hate her, but she is just your average bully character with only little personality. I hate how they've written her as a 90s kid, as that is the most awful writing choice I have heard. And yes, I hate Karen from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Deal with it. I really hate the way she talks, and I heard it from the same voice actor from Black Lagoon who voiced Remy, so why is she so bad in this? In fact, the writing is almost bad in this. It makes certain things that doesn't make any logical sense at times. So what keeps it from any higher? Well, it's because this is a character duo episode as it focuses on the relationship of Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. And it's really some good writing between them as they have some sort of chemistry that works off of each other. Plus the humor is nice. This is one thing I don't agree with the writing score of the Fiery Joker on his video review of this, as he gave it an F+ on the writing because everything doesn't make sense because between the two on how they interact because he thinks they already know each other. But he should have known this is early in the series and all the others don't know each other that much because they are all friends with Twilight, and I'm pretty sure all of them never knew each other with some exceptions, which pretty much shows the episodes to come when they know more about each other. But he is right about the other points where it didn't make any sense. So overall, while I didn't like this episode, it's not the worst that I've seen. Number 3. Green isn't your color. Okay, hate me if you want, but I say this episode's bad in my opinion. Sorry Megan, but while it's nice that you managed to refresh an overused idea, you added something that wasn't needed. But it's not as bad as Hearts and Hoops Day, and I'll get to that on my next list. First, let's talk about the good. One thing they do right here is that it's a character duo episode. It shows an interesting relationship between Fluttershy and Rarity, which is already good in its own right as it's polar opposites, and that makes some great moments. The other is that it's able to show jealousy realistically, which is a big improvement over how the episode owls well that ends well and presented, even if I still like that episode. So why is it on the list if the two positives could make this be the best? It's because it abuses the moral. Throughout the entire run, Twilight knows what is going on and she couldn't tell the two because she has to keep it from each other about the truth in order to keep their promise as friends. This pisses me off because this is an example of how bad girl shows tend to have, which makes me wonder if they ever want to refresh the idea at all at times.
So illogical that it hurts me as I experienced this through my high school days, and I as a friend will tell them about it.
Plus, I really hated how Pinkie Pie is in this one, as she is so uptight about the promise to not tell each other, which is a shame by the writer's standards. It just insults me on how an overused idea that is used from crappy girl shows can be put into good use, but added some things that doesn't need to be. It's sad that 3 episodes that has character duels which I wanted ended up on the worst list because of how much the writers handle it. Overall, this episode is just average and overrated to me, but not enough to be any higher due to its good points. Number 2. The Showstoppers.
When it comes to the Cutie Mark Crusaders, I'm mixed about them. I think they are cute, decent kid characters, but they can be annoying.
How I think of them as independent, Bloom is great, Sweetie Belle is good, and Scootaloo is decent, but has a lot of potential. This is the first episode of them together, and boy is it a disappointment! First is that they are such idiots when trying to find their purpose in life. They ignore every advice they are given and think their way is better. I hate it when kids are written as immature brats just to show development to the end. Why can't they write them as kids who are mature but still kids growing up? Is that too hard to ask? Plus, they pretty much show us their cutie marks, which pretty much ruins the surprise unless they are cover us for something big later on, but we don't know that. One thing I did enjoy from this episode is the cheesy reference of 90s rock, as it's so bad and over the top, I just couldn't help but enjoy it.
And your flank is very bare. Feels like the sun will never come when your cutie mark's not there. So the 3 of us will fight the fight. There is nothing that we fear. We'll have to figure out what we'll do next till our cutie marks are here.
So overall, this is a bad start for a group, but at least later on they did better or worse.
Cutie patootie, lovey-dovey honey bunny.
You're my hearty, smarty, smoochy, woochy, baby, weirdie.
Number 1. Ghostbusters.
Fuck this episode! Fuck it to hell! Fuck it to every pony nation of pony kind! Ugh. Sorry about that, I just have to get that off of my chest.
This has to be the worst episode I have ever seen in Season 1, and here's why. First is the writing, as it's so confusing and I couldn't grab what it's going for. It's just that it's so bad that it's not even funny or guilty pleasure. Storytelling at its worst. Another is the characters making bad decisions as they act way out of character. Plus, they introduced the worst characters in history, and that's Snips and Snails.
Hey, Ray! Coming through!
Snips! Snails! What's going on?
These guys are seriously there just to be suck-ups, and that is it! Fuck these guys! Plus, they don't get punished for what they did. Well, sort of, but I think it needed to be much worse than that. What bugs me is that this show's breaking away from stereotypes, but they created these guys? Probably payback for how most media treats women. The only good thing this episode has is Trixie, as she is really one reason I will rewatch this episode.
Spectacular feats of magic ever witnessed by pony eyes! Is there anything you can do that the great and powerful Trixie can't? When Trixie is through, the only thing they'll call you is loser.
Overall, this will be the worst I have seen in Season 1, but however, it doesn't top Season 2's worst episode, and I'm not looking forward to talking about it.
Well, that is my list, and if you like any of these episodes, that is fine. More power to ya. Well, that's all I have to say, and until next time, see you guys later. And the next will be an anime review of Chobits, so see you then.